Pleasant good afternoon from where I sit in the city of Painesville, a suburb of Monrovia. This is African Actions Network, and we are currently at the office of the Director of Police of the Painesville City Corporation, Lieutenant Melvin Kolleh Tolbert, and he is chosen to speak with us this afternoon. My name is Ta Yudi Garnett. Many thanks to Patience Blay Atto, that is taking it from control there in the USA. And so welcome on this exclusive interview. You can share or comment on the broadcast, but let us firstly move on to the communications person here at the Painesville City Corporation who will actually do the intro. Thereafter, we'll move on with this exclusive interview.
So I'd like to say good day to you wherever you are, and would like to welcome you to the Painesville City Corporation, where the Director of the Painesville City Police will address several issues relating to a function here at the Painesville City Corporation. As you may be aware, the Painesville City Corporation is a municipal government operating under the laws of Liberia. This city gained its status in 1975 by an act of the legislature during the reign of former Liberian President William R. Tolbert. So at this time, it is my honor to invite you and also invite the head of the Painesville City Police, Lieutenant Melvin Tolbert, to address the media.
And that was the voice of Jeremiah Dijen. He's the communications person here at the Painesville City Corporation. And let us move on straight. We've been joined by KMTV. Clement Toure is right on my right flank. And so let's move on this morning. Lieutenant Melvin Kolleh Tolbert, let me say welcome to African Actions Network.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure.
And it will always be a pleasure. But we are so much more concerned. The title before your name, Lieutenant, we know that he has some military background. And so obviously, we say thanks for expressing the willingness to actually join us this afternoon to speak with us on some of the trending issues affecting the enforcement angle of the Painesville City Corporation. But occupying such position as a lieutenant obviously suggests to any like-minded person that you have served vast security areas before in your lifetime. And you care to actually bring us up to speed with the many experiences you had before being given the opportunity to serve here as the Director of Police of the Painesville City Police.
Thank you, sir, and that of the KNTV. All right, once again, my name is Lieutenant Melvin Kolleh Tolbert. Former serviceman of the Armed Forces of Liberia. I'm married with 5 children. And then currently I'm serving now as the Director of Police of Painesville City. But I said earlier that I should come up with speed had I got this position, and from my background, a little bit of my background before coming to the Painesville City Corporation. Okay, I was enlisted in the Armed Forces of Liberia since 2006, November, and then graduated, went to basic non-commissioned officer school. From there, I went to senior non-commissioned and commissioned officer school. Left, I went to the United States in Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I attended the United States Trade Science School, where I graduated and came back. And then I was also the senior drill instructor for the Armed Forces of Liberia, where I was mentoring up to 10 instructors and that of 14 assistant instructors. But we've been mentored by the U.S. training officer they had in Camp Sanuel with us. Then I was a training up to 150 personnel, but I graduated 38 and then sent 12 home because some of my lingering, meaning they were so afraid every day, they said it's sick, so I have to send it home. But to tell you, when I left the military because of so many reasons, I was in a training and then I got hit like grenade, and then there was no attention paying to me. So I had to write the Armed Forces of Liberia senior management that I'm putting a voluntary separation. But it didn't stop there. They talked to me and I listened. Then I was sent to Nigeria at the Nigerian Defense Academy, where I graduated from the officer school with distinction. I won the Sword of Honor Award presented to me by the former President Kolleh Tolbert. And then go back to Liberia, but things wasn't so fine. I still had pieces of fragment in my leg, and there was no consent showing. I wrote numerous letters, but to no avail. And then I thought on leaving because once you commission, you can put in for, you can resign and leave. And I served my first 5 years that I signed for as from private to sergeant, and then followed by additional 6 more years, which I spent 12 years serving the armed forces of Liberia. Well, the army did not do nothing wrong to me, but the service was the problem. Leadership. Then I left. I found a job with the LRA. Then I didn't take a long time. My contract was terminated. And once you stand for integrity, you stand alone in this country. So I had to leave. And then I found myself at the Painesville City Corporation where I was serving as the risk manager for the city. And then from the level of work that I've been doing, the mayor in her own wisdom thought it wise to appoint me as the director of police for the city of Painesville.
Hmm.
And where I'm currently serving now as director.
Which year specifically, sir?
I I've been there for the past 3 to 4 years or thereabout. And then I was appointed August 22nd, 2020. This is my second year in this position now.
Okay, that's a good one. It shows that you came to this position with wealth of experience from the military. But we are so much more concerned since you became head of the Painesville City Police as director. Can you explain vividly how you met the PCP?
As I said, from the level of work that I've been doing, and people know my track record, and I applied through a lot of recommendation, and then I was accepted. I went through the vetting process and due diligence was done, and they saw the kind of man I possessed this office, a credential, and that's why the management thought it necessary I could do the job. And for sure, I'm doing what they actually wanted me to do.
So can you tell us how you met them when it comes to the status? Was there already a form unit organized, workable unit? I just want to
Yeah,
know a brief explanation of how
I
you met them.
came, the city police department been existing before even coming to being with city corporation. I think if I'm not mistaken, I should be I think the fifth police director now. Yeah, it been existing since this city was founded, it been existing. And then, people will come and go. So I came and met the department already structured.
Okay, already structured. Okay, not to bore you, let's just move on because I know as you go on or go along, there are a lot of things that will come up. I would care to actually understand about the Painesville City Police. But there are a few dramatic issues we've highlighted that we tend to look at this afternoon. The first thing has to do with manpower. How is the manpower like? Because Painesville is the biggest
So,
municipality in Liberia. So I'm so
so
much more concerned
honestly,
when it comes to enforcement.
honestly speaking, from where I came from and from myself there, it's not just easy when you come back into the civil society to do a piece of job. But I have uh, withstood a lot of tough time, and then from where I found myself currently to develop surveillance to become a warrior is not an easy thing. Now, the city corporation, we have men, but the guys don't have the strength anymore. All right, we're looking for young people, but the city is striving to really get manpower to help the city. Phoenix is the biggest city right now in Liberia. I think the population may likely be up to 300 to 400,000, or I stand to be
The
corrected.
last time research was around 400,000.
Okay. Now we need to police the entire city, not just portion of the city. It's just by the special grace of God, the national police help us in that process. But we are the city troopers. We need those manpower to be deployed to various zones and depots as well. Not only the compound of the city corporation. There are a lot of things that are unfolding in the streets, and we need to curtail these things. Like it for the liquor dumpers. The guys come in the streets and just dump that in the street away they go. If we have people monitoring these people, you will find these things happening. We have a waste management department here, but people don't want to pay. And if we had the security enforced with enough manpower, all of these things will find a remedy to that.
So are you alarming shortage when it comes to manpower here?
We are short in manpower.
But I don't know if
If I'm not mistaken, right now we about 59.
Okay, I just thought to ask the question.
Police department 59. That's the statistics
For the entire thing.
for the entire city. 59 is nothing.
So what mechanisms are you putting in?
Well, I wrote a proposal for training, but management is still studying that, and then they will get back to me in subsequent time. So we need to train. We need to put up through the PRO for the city to put up information concerning training once they approve, and those that qualify, we'll be looking for people that letter, not just anybody to bring from the street and put into the system. Because I want to build a vibrant security that when I'm leaving this place, the legacy will be left over here.
Okay, let's look at your operations as the Painesville City Police. You talk about 59 men to be enforcers of city ordinances across Painesville City, which I know such an amount is actually inadequate. But what are your basic operations and functions, or where do you strategically place those officers, and what do you expect of them?
We always expect good of the officers, right? Okay. To strategic bond, our major concern right now is the Ralphie Highway where the president lives. And you have a lot of guests come and through that route, they pass through the street to come. And here the Bay Junction being the face of the city, there where you pass to go to Central Monrovia. And we have them strategically positioned at the ELB Junction and Tuboro Junction GSA, but due to the road connectivity and the construction that is ongoing, so everything had to scatter. You find out right now, the both sides of the road being dug out by the contractors, and the road is so narrow, and for that reason, it is congested. And we want this place to be free every other time when the convoy is coming, to have it free for the president to pass what he gets. We can't keep it so tight, and then it causes embarrassment for us. I had saved 2, 3 persons on the road before when the convoy coming. Marketeers. These are the people you talk to. These are the stubborn people. But you're telling them what is right, they wouldn't want to listen to you feel that the bad thing you're telling them. And for their own safety. I sprung on one and drop one and roll. We hop on the road. Because the convoy coming in ready asking you to move on the road again because they expect the road to be clear. And this is what we want. Sometimes you see, I know you ask the question, my guys at the Elevate Junction, they put stuff on the car. Not that they're doing that.
We will definitely come to that because,
because
the entire PCP now has been named and styled as a city police that focuses for attention on marketeers, motorcyclists, and vehicle owners that apply the road daily.
The drivers are stubborn. The cyclists that are stubborn. That lawlessness, no control. When you engage them, we out of turn to be riot. And this is why we always said to our people, do not get yourself involved with riot. Rioting is not good. Sometimes when these things happen, call directly to the office. We get a team that will move in and go and soften the ground for us. Marketeers, no, they're always on the road selling. We have tried, but we would not erase it totally. But at least we should go maybe about 80 to 85% to get it off the street. We have tried our best in the day. But the nighttime, you go at the 11 junction, the nighttime, you feel so bad. We don't have the logistics to move. We need a patrol. We don't have.
Just before we come to that, I want us to actually focus on this because there's an intriguing issue that many folks across Painesville City will always want to hear about. Let's look at the limitation of those that apply the rule. Let's look at the restrictions. Let's look at the fines. Let's be a little bit more clear. Where should you park? Where should you not park? And if you are caught in the process, what should be the next actions? We just want to know these things.
Okay, thank you. I know there when you're coming. To be honest with you, we have gone on the street. The guy from the National Police Public and Safety Department, 117 John Sir, we have all come to this office. We sat in the office, we strategize a plan to place the guys to the various positions where they supposed to be, the motorcyclists, the keke riders, the commercial drivers. Now, we walk down so much. When you pass, I'm talking about ELB Junction now. You pass Atlanta Instruments, there's a ditch down opposite Schumer gas station. We earmark that place for commercial driver that is commuting to Monrovia. They all should go there because when I'm telling you to leave the road, I should have place for you. We agreed. And then those that are moving to Boys Town, Habe, we put them opposite the Atlanta Entertainment Center. The flat bay, whenever convoy is coming, because we don't want nobody parking on that flat bay, the car will be able to just roll in there and give the convoy chance to pass. But you cannot get the flat bay so congested when the convoy comes nowhere for cars to go. It becomes an issue for us. We have shown them places to be. Those are doing around town, they will just come and swing. We place signboards. No steady, no parking, no stopping at any time. Management have faced signboard more than 3-4 times. You know they do it at night? They will use those younger boys and cut it up so that they can continue violating. Violation is not a crime, but it tends to become a crime when you fail to follow the instruction of the officer and do your own thing. Sometimes they escape with the officers. They tend to be kidnapped. They will talk. When you bring them, we fine you. We have fine limitation there. The first time we talk to you, the PRO, the other departments. In fact, other departments went there to carry on publicity at the junction. But the guy wouldn't listen. Right now, you go to junction, you see a cyclist that was a no-go zone. Since they gone 2020 elections and 20 elections, the guys came back. They can't leave the place anymore. And we cannot do it alone. We don't have the capacity, the manpower to take you guys off the street.
Okay, so let's move on. I'm so much more concerned also when it comes to the working hours of those officers you sent out. Are they working based on shift, or do they?
Yeah, we have 2 shifts, but we only have one shift at the ELB junction in the streets. The guys need to go and rest due to the manpower because they work 12 hours.
12 hours.
12 hours, and then you can use officer for more than that hour, and you find it being reckless doing the job. Yeah, I know some of them are reckless for sure that I can rule out. They are not in majority, but the time you give them the rest, they won't rest. You'll start doing other stuff, and then normally you should have 8 hours for a first shift, but because of no manpower, we added additional 4 hours. So they go on the road by 7 o'clock in the morning clear the road for the president to pass. Once he pass, they will remain there until he gets back home, and then everybody go back to their federal home. But at the compound where we have the access and office, manpower, we have two shifts, first shift and second shift.
Okay, so do you have discipline measures put in place for those officers that you claim?
Yeah, the first thing,
just to be reckless?
yeah, we discipline them. Sometimes we reprimand. Once you did it the first time, we will have you counsel, verbal counseling, and tell you your bad part that you're doing and your strength will actually improve. And next time we'll put it on paper. And once we place that on the paper, then we got you on record already. When you continue, the next thing, recommendation to the HR office for suspension.
Following suspension?
Yeah.
Dismissal.
No, I have not dismissed.
Because I was about to ask the question. You are applying for manpower, you want to send some out.
I'm looking for man. I'm really asking them for more manpower. Okay, we suspend them on the job because we wanted to know the wrong thing to do.
Salary deduction.
No, we have not deducted salary from our guys. Except when you come to work.
Suspension with pay.
Yeah, no suspension. You can't be suspended and you take pay. You take pay.
That's why I asked the question. Salary
deduction. You didn't work.
Okay, so
the punishment we give you
a suspension of our salary.
Yeah.
Or stop paying.
Sometimes give you 2 weeks suspension.
With our salary.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on. You were trying to raise issues as it relates to logistical support. We talked about manpower already, and I think you highlighted the need for more manpower at the Painesville City Police. And let's move on to logistics, like uniforms, handcuffs, batons, probably radio for communications and stuff like that. Mobility, more importantly. Where do you stand when it comes to logistical support?
Mr. Garner, a department with all logistics cannot be effective. We use all the little resources we have to see how best we can work. And then actually I came from a stressful background because of the background that I hail from, get me and my colleagues keeping the department strong. Management is striving for money. It's not easy on the city. The city have to generate money to buy, to repair, buy my FO equipment. And she's not just getting those support that she really wants. So she can lead that and get to the city and police. She have to settle all of those priorities before police can come. But the police are paramount. With all the security, we cannot survive. We cannot generate the regulatory revenue you want to generate. Because security need to be behind and enforce. Because we are the enforcement arm of the city. And because of that, we don't have vehicle. We don't have motorbike, uniform.
Like seriously?
We don't have one. It has been my appeal to national government all of the time. This city we found ourselves, we have 5 electoral districts, they have 5 representatives. And you found out all of the big, the ministers, deputy ministers, lawmakers, they live in Painesville.
Even the president.
The president, the vice president as well, and the former vice president. They all live in Painesville. And every day we call, written paper to offices. Yeah, waste of time. Because for me, I like door to door. If I prepare a document carry, I'll walk there, I get tired walk. But they know. We've been in the street. They won't pick up the mayor and got there. Sometimes she send them, they pick up, they also use. And how working our office pick up, we can't use them for police operation. We can't use tricycle. The people own the children of mothers and fathers we carry around in night to patrol. Nothing. Pepper spray, battle, uniform. We need uniform to be identified. Now the mayor is working on the project concerning uniform. I did a project for uniform as well. It's currently with the mayor office. It's stating that we can't continue running the city with all uniform.
So how are they identified currently?
Come again?
How are they identified currently?
Currently, we have t-shirts. We have green, lemon green, with number. Because before people were impersonating that they are PCC officers, they go and harass other people, and then people don't know they don't have ID cards. So we mark your number and give you a t-shirt. Once you commit any crime out there or embarrass people, the first thing we'll ask what the number the person wearing, and we'll go straight to our database and we'll know exactly who the person doing that.
So I'm really much more concerned about this scaring outburst that indeed logistics remains a major challenge for the PCP, such a big municipality, and as a matter of fact, the biggest in Liberia. Don't you guys receive budgetary allotment from national government?
Where that I can speak to that, the PRO is blue to the charity to speak to that. For me, I'm a security personnel, so I don't speak for the city. I speak for my department.
But as a department head, do you receive budgetary allotment for your operations from the
No,
city?
I have not received one from my office. I only write. Whenever we want to do things, go on operation, we write and they see the needs, and they approve it.
Okay, that is clear. And let's move on. Earlier on, you were trying to highlight the issue of training, and you said a proposal has been forwarded to the mayors already. How far have you been able to follow up, and do we expect training of PCP officers in the not too distant future? If you will?
Yeah, we've been doing some in-service training, but we'll talk about training, we'll talk about recruit training. We want to train from the beginning until graduation. So that is being on the table for discussion right now.
Where will the training be held?
Where we will determine if money is there, we can take them to the National Police Training Academy through the mayor office, or we do in-service training until otherwise ordered. Because I'm a certified trainer, have been certificated with diploma from the United States. I train any security around the world. I received that diploma and letter. Train any military, any security around the world.
With such vast security knowledge, what could be your projection? How many manpower do you really need to effectuate your
right now? I need about 200 men. I need about 200 men because we need to structure the department in a way everybody will know their function. And I will need a special unit just for my men who will be violated for my security personnel, because most of them come with different motive if you bring them on board. And our concern is to make sure that our taxpayers are well and secure because they're paying the taxes. Our employees are well taken care of and secure. The property of this entity should be well secure.
Okay, let's move on. Many a times we find some of these officers probably arresting some lotterers, bringing them at the PCC HQ here. Do you have withholding cells here?
No, we don't have one either. We don't have one. I also wrote management for us to have one, and it's important that we have one there. That we can't go out and arrest people in the night. Then we put them in our offices. Look, man, when the order for some of the guys is so offensive that you want to sit near them. So we can't keep them in our offices. So management system. Now, if you get out of my office, you will see some breaks that we start to bring in already for that project. I wrote the code and embrace it. I wrote the mayor, she also embraced it. It's good. And not only for who be violators, but for our own officers to discipline them. Yeah, that's what needed for. But we normally get people from the street once they're in violation. Once it is dark, we forward them to Zone 5 or Tether Base Depot, and they will keep them. The next day, we'll go for them. If possible, we find them or we process them to the court. Once they're waiting to pay the fine for what they did wrong, They pay the fine with the receipt. Then we receive a copy of it, and we let them go and warn them not to do it again. If anybody go about doing it, then we file you to the court for prosecution.
Okay, this question shouldn't slip my mind, but let me just let it out of the bed quickly. I'm so much more concerned about the marketeers as well. Many a times we see them tearing, they are all crying why and five as it relates to their markets being seized. So I want you to kindly explain to those following us this afternoon the procedures from seizure to retrieval of those goods or commodities that you take from those marketeers through your offices.
Okay, thank you. All right, they've been warned. No selling to the identical spots. No sitting on the pedestrian walk. You should go 5 to 10 meters away from the pedestrian walk to sell. But the stubborn ones will come on the pedestrian walk, then forcing the pedestrian to walk on the main road where the car is moving. We have encountered so many times car hitting people. And then once you stop, we now let you know your goods being confiscated and brought to this office and fined with the minimum fine. The rating is there. Do not sell yet, or no selling is allowed. Or you look at the big word. You know, our people always say to us that we're not reading. You have to bold a signboard. No selling, no standing. When you choose to sell there. And one thing that messing this country out, the interference with the job and the interest. When you arrest somebody, they take phone, they call. Oh, yeah, know the person that my person. This is my person. I said, no, for me, it don't work with me. Because for me, I'm a disciplinarian, so I don't allow that to overshadow me. I'll tell you, whoever calling, come let the person know what they're paying for, and they will not do that again. But on the line of bringing the goods, yes, we give the goods back to them, majority of them, except when there's an order like red light. When the president said no selling, everybody should leave and go make it. And you dare get on the road to sell, that means you, once you just respect the order of the president, then who you doing it to? And he's the father of the nation. We have to implement whatever he says with caution. Some of use our own description. And we know times are hard. But sometimes we keep the goods for 2-3 weeks, and from there they come for the goods with a little fine attached to it.
Have you also received complaints from some of those vendors, petty traders, or marketeers when it comes to officers' action towards, and probably some of them goods then seized and they can't get the quantified amount?
That I won't lie, it happened. And we can go through investigation. Once we find liable of that, you will pay. I have made officers pay for people goods there. Sometimes we don't have the money, I will pay. When they pay them, we take the money from them. Once you're in error, that's the kind of leadership I brought to the department.
So stringent measures are.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, if you are just joining us, it's half past the hour since we started this interview. This is African Actions Network. My name is Tar Yubi Garnett. We are in conversation with Lieutenant Melvin Kolleh Tolbert. He's the director of the Painesville City Police Department. And we are highlighting a lot of issues regarding the workings of the Painesville City Police. And so wherever you are, your comments, suggestions, recommendations will be sent out for public consumption. So you can also share the broadcast as well. But many thanks for following us as always. But let's move on. Still a lot to talk about before we call it a quit on this Thursday afternoon in the city of Painesville, a suburb of Monrovia.
So, let me not cut you off, please. Concerning this the other way junction, other places, when we talk about butchering car, talk about people say they put the nails on the car. Our people are the cops. You will see the big writing on the board. Don't stop here. Don't park here. How you use, look at LRA. That's a corporate entity. How in this world you want to put a parking station in front of such a building? Then when you go, the officers ask you to leave, you start to insult. So don't stop, go. Then you go in front a little bit and stop to take passenger. Then when they hold it, you roll over your own tire, you say the passenger bus your tire after being informed.
So that reminds me, apart from those sticks with nails printed on them, do you have real materials that you can use to stop
We
the car
we
movement?
that's one of the main things that we have there right now. Because
Some
if
will
we
say
just don't do
it's
that,
just a
they
weapon
will
that
escape.
anyone.
They will escape.
Mm.
They will escape. Honestly, we had the advanced one, but all of the sharpeners left from on it. Where you can screw up and put it back. All of the sharpeners left from on
Because
it.
considering public
Because
safety,
we're
we
doing
found
that.
or 2x2 with nails on them. Anyone can just check that and probably cause.
No, it's very difficult. I pull the weapon they got it. No one can detect it.
Okay. But I'm just considering public safety.
Yeah, but they always say people doing something wrong, you try to pull checkmate to it, they take you to be the bad person. And most often we allow people to go. So the people that we gave credence to, those that are making call, I know the purpose of stopping to make a call. Once you stop and you're making call, not calling for passengers in a car, then you're allowed to make your call and go. Because you don't want to be driving and then making call. Well, guys can lie. They drive us. Majority of them. There are some that are very good. They lie about it. But you know where it causes a problem for us? Those that can take their police vehicle, I mean, let me go and do one trip quick and come back. These are the people that are causing the problem for us.
Yeah, so Mr. Tolbert, I'm concerned about the issue of manpower development and your workings as the director of the city corporation police. Have you been, or are there any plans, or should I say, have there been any collaboration between the city police and that of the Monrovia City Police, for example?
More the police got their own working, and then we have ours. But we all work together as a team. When it comes to manpower, that means we're going for joint operation. You have Morovia City Police will be a certain amount of men because since they're in number, they will bring more men than us. Sometimes we only provide up to 20 to 25%, you know. But we all work in collaboration with the national police.
Joint operation,
Joint
it
operation.
carried my mind back to the fire service of the city of Painesville.
Mhm.
The both team working together because I will remember it came a time there was scaffold between the two teams. How is it like now?
Yeah, it was some there's common misunderstanding that people never understood brought us such of action, and it was rectified. And those that were in error had to apologize to management for what they did wrong. And we still moving strong. I think we close to each other, yeah, adjacent to each other. And then other stuff they come to us to rescue. Like the other time somebody threw petrol bomb to the kitchen, and then they had to run there with the fire extinguisher to extinguish the fire. Well, we know had that disaster that day, but it was good. The communication was very fast.
Currently, we have the marketers in red light, and as per the president mandate prior to the opening of the Omega market, he said that the city corporation of Painesville uh, was going to temporarily handle the issue of the Omega market. So I don't know what is it like in terms of sending back the marketers to Omega. Why is the city corporation, particularly the police, working on in that regard?
We have police assigned there as well.
In red light.
No, rather we have task force looking for those guys that impersonating as PCC officers. So we have task force that they all have numbers on the uniform. When you go at the rally, you're going to see them. And in Omega Market, we have our supervisor is Titus Smith. He heading the team in the Omega Market. Now, Omega have not been totally uh, turned over to management. We only there to make sure that the properties that are being erected, being protected, that of the national police. So the national police assigned to Omega Market, the commander is Bisa. He and Supervisor Smith, they work together as a team. Currently, we are there.
So just from my end, let me just conclude with this. When it comes to crime, the crime rate in the city of Painesville, Are there specific crimes that the city corporation, particularly the police, have arrested with a huge increase, despite the drivers and the marketers? Are there any specific crimes that you have
Sure,
arrested with
sure,
a huge
sure.
increase in
So
numbers?
just 2 days ago, we rescued a motorcyclist that was being unrobbed right in front of our gate. Can you imagine? Around 1 a.m. 1:30 a.m. in the morning, they started to chop him with collides. They had machetes and other stuff. And then when he started to yell, officers responded on the scene, rescued him, and they took him whatever to escape. So they did tactics and drills. We showed them. We use our C formation to engulf them, and then when they noticed the force were moving, they had to drop the motorbike and escape. And currently, if you look outside, you'll see the motorbike still parked, and the victim is staying in the hospital. Uh, his parents and family member just got the information, and then the coroner they have united them and all to the ELW hospital right now. Now, if the park that the mayor just commissioned, people, children come from all walks of life to come and have fun time to the park. But we notice group of young people just come and then start to terrorize the people in the evening time by from 6 o'clock upward when because we close the park by 5. The children had to go back home to the family members. So we told them that you should accompany your children. Nobody should bring, no child should come in alone. You come in with your child, come along with the child. Then by 5, you be able to take the child. But then you need to put jacking people phone using machine, a razor blade scissors. Someone noticed that we had to deploy every Saturday, Sunday, holidays. We deploy huge security force there. We had arrested more than 15 of them in China with the national police. More than 15. But if we had the logistics that we think a security branch should have, you won't have that thing happening around the city because we will help the police in the aspect. This is why we call it on national government, others, philanthropists, to help us. Let it come to our aid. We actually need those things to help. We took risks to even go after the guys because we don't actually know what they have or what they have within that night. We took sewer risks.
Okay, let me just ask this question because it is my understanding that the Prince City Corporation is an income generating institution.
Yeah.
And the city police being the enforcers. Let's look at your own rule. You talk about fines then imposed on who be violators. Have you been generating income for the city corporation?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is some of the evidence. You come, you pay. These are some of the evidence. They carry the copy. We keep our copy. We have one copy sent to the financial office and the auditor because it's still been audited. See the copy. We have volume. Have volume. Come before you, you pay. Sometimes we void the fine because of intervention. People come in and beg. Sometimes we void it for sometimes our bosses call, I beg you because they don't use force. They say, yo, no, 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 no. They will beg us, they put doing the work. I beg you, director, please have consideration on the person for the first time. And we always go about doing it. So we find them, and then we generate revenue.
So there's a critical question. You've shown pieces of evidence when it comes to revenue generation from your own workings at the PCC. Do you think you should be really crying about logistical support if you are bringing in the money?
But the money that is coming in that is not that much, you know, to say they will use it to buy logistics for the police department. We already logistics, not just playing we're talking here the entire. We're talking about real money to take care of security. It's not easy. If you have a private security, you need partner to partner with you to get your security from where you're up to be. To stand up. You can do it alone. I say you want to be a millionaire. Even you millionaire, you need partner. People should have a share into the business. But security logistics is very expensive these days.
So you've tried in and around Liberia and to know if you what could be your call to folks following us across the world, probably.
So
there are some
whatever
diaspora Liberians.
whatever People are listening to us around the world, Liberia. And once you're Liberian, non-Liberian, we are asking, appealing, a humble appeal to help this department. I may not be here tomorrow for the next question to come and pick up from there. So we want to set the basis for the next person that will come to be as director here, and those that will come to be police officers. Once that standard is being set, we don't want that standard being broken. So this is our appeal, our humble appeal.
Okay, if you care to comment, that is okay. If you don't, that is also okay. But do you have anything else probably we didn't ask you that you'd love to comment about before we say goodbye on this exclusive interview?
Yeah, and I have served the military from private until I was commissioned as lieutenant, and then I served a lot of companies, the 23rd Infantry Military Police Company, the 23rd Engineering Battalion. I served as first sergeant, and then the Armed Forces Training Command, where I also served as the first sergeant and the senior drill chief of training, and then executive officer to the commandant by then. And I'm a bachelor's degree holder in business administration with emphasis in management. And then I went at the Cottington Master Program where I was doing public administration with emphasis in public sector management. Then I left and went to Nigeria for 9 months at the Nigerian Military University where I graduated and came back.
Okay, so that is good adding up to the profile, but it has been a wonderful time, folks. Wherever you are across the world, we are currently in Painesville City. Painesville is a suburb east of Monrovia, Liberia. Is geographically larger than the city of Monrovia and is expanding eastward along the Roberts International Airport Highway and northeastward beyond Red Light Market, one of the largest commercial hubs in Liberia. It's a vibrant, diverse suburb city, which is geographically the largest municipality in Liberia with a blossoming population of over 400,000 inhabitants, according to the 2008 census report. And we've been in conversation with the Director of Police of the Painesville City Corporation, Lieutenant Melvin Kolleh Tolbert. And many thanks for watching. And let me say thanks so kindly for honoring the invite. It has been a wonderful interview.
And thank you. I appreciate this interview and wish that we continue this and we will know the unfolding situation into the Department of the Police of Painesville City. And by your help and the help of other people, KMTV, whoever going to share this is our appeal update to you. Please share our appeal to other people and follow the topics to see how best they can help us. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you so much. It was kind working with you this afternoon on this interview.
And thanks so kindly, folks, wherever you are. My name is Ta Yubi Garnett, and thanks so kindly for always following the African Actions Network. And let me say many thanks to Patience Blair Atto, who sat at control, handling the technical aspect of this broadcast. And we always pay tribute as we continue to see the final retirement of foreign Liberian media guru Anthony Philip Owise, allies Gina. And so we say rest in power. But until then, it has been a wonderful time with you, a wonderful, wonderful rest of the Thursday from the city of Painesville, Liberia.
out of the legislature during the reign of former Liberian
That one
president.
you get it, you know.